Hey, it's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. Jim, unfortunately, can't make it, but that's okay. He sends his best wishes. He is working on very important things right now, so he will be here next week. In the meantime, let's go ahead and cover the latest news. So, starting off with this webinar that we recently conducted called Streamline Your Database Deployments with Flyway and Octopus Deploy. This was co-hosted by Adam and Huxley of Redgate and featured Octopus Deploy and a feature of Redgate, or a product of Redgate, called Flyway. Flyway is a really good tool for doing database deployments, and inside of this webinar, Adam talked about the benefits of Octopus, Huxley talked about the benefits of Redgate, and more notably, Flyway DB. And so the two are kind of like a peanut butter and jelly combination for doing database deployments. And so if you're at all curious, you can check this out up on our YouTube channel. It's available now. Again, that's Streamline Database Deployments with Flyway and Octopus Deploy. This is the latest edition of our Codefresh Insiders for July 2024. Some of the highlights include notably that Codefresh on-premises 2.4 is generally now available. You can check out the release notes that are there. Our June cloud platform release notes are also available. And finally, handle platform-level resources that are runtime agnostic by designing designated GitOps runtimes as configuration runtimes. There's a whole bunch of detail inside of the newsletter itself, including this great article that we highlighted last week entitled Better Kubernetes at the Edge with Argo CD and Codefresh. This was written by Dan Garfield, our VP of Open Source. So if you're interested about how they do Kubernetes at the edge for things like Chick-fil-A and other vendors like that, you might want to check this one out. There's a bunch of other updates as well. We have our 101 series also listed here, so feel free to check that out. That's up on our LinkedIn page. That's for our Insiders newsletter. This was a blog that was written recently by Costas entitled Multi-Service Progressive Delivery with Argo Rollouts. So if you're looking at doing Argo rollouts to multiple services, let's say you've got a front end and a back end, you want to do rollouts via Argo to those targets or services. This is an article that talks a little bit about how to utilize that. So Costas actually wins one of the awards for most detailed technical article as part of this. But as you can see here, there's lots of UML, there's lots of screenshots, lots of diagrams on how to do this in the context of Argo itself. And so if you're at all curious, you can check that out up on our Codefresh blog at codefresh.io/blog. And then competing with him, of course, is Bob for another very detailed article. This one's entitled Feature Branch Environments with Kubernetes and Octopus. And Bob here is talking about how to utilize Octopus in the context of deploying to Kubernetes using feature branch environments. And there's a number of different ways in which you can do this. But basically, you need, as he says here, you need to incorporate a branching strategy. Some of them include the following. Basically, he details and highlights what they are and how they work in the context of Octopus. Again, giving a run with Costas for his money for most detailed blog posts, but lots of YAML in here, lots of screenshots, lots of how-to. So if you're at all curious, you can check that out. And this is part of our extensive series of things highlighting our integration with Kubernetes, which you can find out more if you're at all curious. You can find our Kubernetes CD at scale white paper up at octopus.com. You can download it for free. It provides very detailed resources on how to do this, as well as some good guidance there. This is a very interesting LinkedIn post that Paul posted to LinkedIn recently. He wrote, last month, Octopus Deploy passed 100 million AUD, or Aussie, Australian dollars, in annual recurring revenue. This is a huge milestone, 10 years in the making. It's hard to get figures, but I believe it probably puts us among only about a dozen Australian software companies to reach this milestone. Very proud of our amazing team for the relentless work to get us here, and grateful for our wonderful customers for entrusting us all these years. And I would second that and third that and fourth that sentiment. We are extremely grateful for our customers who have helped us along in this journey. And I think it speaks to the basically the quality of our product that we have on offer for doing software deployments. 323 others agreed, obviously, with the sentiment. And we had lots of congratulations and way to goes and pats on the back. So I think it's a credit to Paul and Sonia, who started the company, obviously, and who have basically grown it to what it is. It's a testament to their leadership. So well done to them, and a little pat on the back for us, I guess. So there you go. This is a really cool little a little sticker and little thing that we came in with from Alastair. This is our Kubernetes agent sticker or logo. And we have this sort of Kubernetes intensifies graphic that we have in our internal Slack. So it's a bit of an inside joke there. But these are little stickers that we have for symbolizing this. And this is our agent that runs inside of Kubernetes when you're doing deployments and integration via Octopus. Colin Bowern, who's our Senior Vice President of Product at Octopus, talked a little bit about how he joined up with others in the Brisbane office for a R&D senior leadership on-site. And he talked about some activities that he ran, but these are the brain trust there. A lot of folks that you may know or may not know, that's fine. But these are the folks who are basically stewarding and guiding our product. And I thought it was cool just to highlight this photo here, and there's Colin there. And I know all these folks, but if you don't, that's okay. You'll know them someday. But there's folks here that own all the features of Octopus, and great to see them come together and talk about product, which is great. This is Steve Fenton. I'm really enjoying how Steve is getting more creative. This is Steve obviously dealing with all the models relating from DORA, which is the DevOps Research and Assessment. They come up with the DORA metrics. This is spearheaded by Google and others. But yeah, so it's nice to see Steve getting a little bit of his creative juices going, which is great. And speaking of Steve, he recently published an article up on the news stack entitled 8 Real-World Reasons to Adopt Platform Engineering. So platform engineering is really another evolution of DevOps and the way in which you target, building out solutions. Platform engineering provides a whole bunch of core tenets to it. And Steve goes into a lot of those through 8 real-world examples or reasons for doing so. And so if you're at all curious, you can find this up on the news stack. Newsstack.io is the website. And just to highlight them briefly here, so quickly, tool consolidation. So that's a top driver. Tool consolidation is always important. You want to make sure that you try to eliminate the plethora or cornucopia of tools that are out there. Sharing good practices, always a good one. Reducing duplication. Shipping early and often via continuous delivery. Maybe you should use a tool like Octopus. Some other ones relating to top business drivers, process consolidation, speed to market, solving problems once, etc., etc. So these and other reasons are some of the real-world examples or reasons for trying to adopt platform engineering. If you're looking for a reason to provide maybe someone in your leadership team, hey, we should take this on, feel free to check out this article. It's up on the news stack. That's from Steve. We have some events that are coming up soon. This one is in October. I know soon. October doesn't sound like soon, but it is to us because we're planning heavily for this. So we will be at GitHub Universe 2024 in San Francisco. We are a sponsor, and they currently have early bird tickets available. So you can check this out at githubuniverse.com, and there you will find a site that looks like this. It's a great event. They're going to be talking a lot about AI. They're going to talk a lot about GitHub, obviously. This has always been a successful and very popular event, so if you happen to use GitHub, feel free to sign up. Tickets are reasonably affordable, and as I said before, we are sponsoring this event, so there we are. Hooray! And we will have a pretty big booth there, so we're really looking forward to this. You can check out more at githubuniverse.com. Another event that we'll have coming up on our radar pretty soon is KubeCon North America. This is November 12th to the 15th in Salt Lake City, Utah, home of the soon-to-be-named Utah hockey team. And there you'll hear a lot about Kubernetes and Cloud Native, etc. So we'll have a booth there as well, and we look forward to seeing you there. We'll also be taking part in ArgoCon, as we always do. So feel free to register for that pre-conference event. I know it sounds like a long ways away, 17 weeks, but so these things sound like they're going to come up quick, but 17 weeks, you got to plan flights and all that, so feel free to check that out. Another event we have on our calendar is Shipped. This is our virtual event that we ran last year very successfully. This year, we've opened it up to external speakers. This is on November 20th and 21st. This is a virtual event, so you can sign up for it today by visiting octopus.com/shipped. You can also submit a speaker session. So we have a call for speakers up on Sessionize that you can go ahead and submit to. We are looking for folks to talk about a wide range of topics. So if you're interested in talking about Codefresh or Octopus or continuous delivery or Kubernetes, GitOps, etc., feel free to submit a session. This is up on Sessionize. We really, really like to hear from our customers, our partners, folks that are doing a lot of stuff around DevOps, platform engineering, etc. feel free to submit a session. You've got 131 days, so there you go. So yeah, if you want to reserve your seat, you can by visiting octopus.com/shipped. And certainly lastly, but not leastly, I just wanted to show you a quick example here of a feature that we're looking to promote pretty heavily here. It's called deployment freezes. Now, this is a feature that we talked about recently in a previous episode of Deployment Friday, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to show you what this looks like in practice. So here I am inside of my own environment. This is my Octopus Cloud instance that I use for a lot of demos. For those of you who have seen me on Octopus 101, this is the one I use quite a bit. But I want to show you what deployment freezes look like. You'll find them under your configuration, and there you'll see a section called deployment freezes. So deployment freezes are a really nice way in which you can lock down or freeze essentially any deployments occurring against the environments within your project. The reason why this might be useful is in case you're over a holiday period or downtime or maybe Fridays, deploy on Friday, you can utilize this capability for doing just that. So to add these is pretty simple. So if I don't want to deploy on Friday, for example, I can add a deployment freeze for that. Now, just to highlight this, I'll show you a pretty wide example here. So let's go ahead and specify a wide timeline. So let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Oh, I got to hit OK. Sorry about that. Cool. And so over a 3-day period, over the weekend, we're not going to allow any deployments to occur. And then what we'll do is we'll assign this to a variety of environments within a particular project. So I'll specify I want to use this project here. And then I'll say, yep, use it across all environments. So I want to freeze deployments to all these environments in this project. Once assigned, I can then hit save. And now if I jump back into my project here, and let's say I want to move staging from V002 to V003. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, when I do that, you'll notice we get this notice here that says, hey, we've noticed that you have a frozen deployment in place. And so therefore you cannot deploy to this environment. You can override this, of course, if you so choose. So you can choose to override this as part of a deployment freeze override. But this is there available to you now to freeze your deployments. And I thought this would be a cool little feature just to show you as part of the show. So there you go. Anyways, that wraps it up for another edition of Deploy on Friday. Sorry from Jim. He hopes to be here next week. He's working on some really cool things, which I can't tell you about, but there you go. And until next time, hope to see you on the next episode. And happy deployments until then. Take care.